Okay, so we're asked to simplify this rational expression that we have here. Well, first, to simplify this, we have to understand what we're looking at on the numerator. We have this expression, which is the 3x plus 2, and you're subtracting 5 from it. Now, notice that when you subtract numbers or when you subtract expressions, we usually subtract the like terms. So in this case, the only like term that we have here is the 2 and the negative 5. So those are the only two things that we can actually subtract here. So that means that when we subtract them, we're going to end up with 3x on the numerator, and a positive 2 minus 5 gives us a negative 3. So notice that we just combined only the two like terms. On the denominator we have 2x minus 2. So now at this point we take a look at what we have, and we notice that we have a term on the numerator that has a common factor. So the common factor here, or the GCF, is 3. And if you factor out that 3, then we're left with just x, because 3 times x gives us 3x, minus 3 goes into 3 once. So most likely 1 times 3 will give us the negative 3. So that's for the top. So we factor out the 3, and we're left with x minus 1. Now if we do the same thing on the denominator, you notice that they have a GCF of 2. So the common factor is 2. And what are we left with once we factor out the 2? Well, if you divide this by 2, we get x. And if you divide this by 2, we get a 1, or negative 1 in this case. So now we have 2 times x minus 1. Now we can simplify this expression, because notice this is a product of two terms, and this is a product of two terms, and we can actually simplify the terms that you could actually divide. So in this case, we can divide x minus 1 into x minus 1. That gives us 1. So that means that 3 times 1 is going to give us 3. And this, on the denominator, we're just left with that 2. So the entire expression simplifies to 3 over 2. And as a mixed number, if you need to write it as a mixed number, 2 goes into 3 once. The remainder after dividing by 2 is 1. And the denominator is 2, so is 1.5. So this is a solution for the problem. Either or is a correct solution.